We OG, we OG. Oh no, shit. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls. Bet I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal hour, and today is going to be, it's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay, guys. Everything out there, you're going to be okay. I promise you that, guys. But Bitcoin sitting at 95,731 right now. So it was looking a little bullish going into today, but we know that today was a CPI day, core price index. So what happened today was we were 1 point higher than expected, right? Which, I mean, come on, guys. Like, I don't know why the market reacts this way when it's just like a point this way, a point that way. It is an indication that to Powell to maybe not start quantitative easing yet, maybe not stop selling bonds, maybe not to cut rates. And I think that's what people are kind of thinking right now. And but whatever, the macro is the macro. We're here, we're in Bitcoin, we are on chain, and we are going to keep doing what we're doing, right? We're going to keep grinding it, we're keep getting these dips, we're going to keep making money to buy more. And if we do this and we're successful at doing this, the next 6 to 8 months could be big. We have a crypto friendly president, don't forget that. We have David Sachs working in the background. We have potentially a Bitcoin reserve happening for the US dollar in coming this year, next year. It's going to get really bullish very quickly, and we're here to let you guys know when exactly that's going to be. And it's not right now. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Bringing my partner, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How are you feeling with everything, man? It's been a I guess an okay morning.
Yeah. I feel like it's good that there's been some changes in our ecosystem, right? With like the rune strategy, that's given us something to kind of keep our mind off of the Bitcoin price action that's very volatile and stuff like that. And so I'm okay. I'm actually pretty happy with the response that we got today, because I thought it was an overreaction right whenever the CPI hit, the drop that happened, but it didn't keep bleeding out. And it was because it wasn't even a full point. It was 0.1 of a point. So, because it was 2.9 was the expectation. We hit 3. So you're talking about 0.1 was off, right? So yeah. I think that was not, it wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad. And so the markets kind of bounced back. And then, like you said, we had, I think you mentioned it, but, Jerome Powell is going on his second day of testimonial. And today seemed more like an actual kind of typical Fed meeting. but he still seems kind of up in his spirits, right? So he's not like doom and gloom, not that type of energy. So I think we'll be okay. Right when that happened, we got hit, but we are kind of bounced back a little bit.
Yeah, and like Jerome Powell's biggest thing he has to do is keep us out of recession. And he's done that, right? He's done that countless times now. The economy's doing really good. Yeah, prices are high, but there's reasons for that, right? Like gas prices are really high. We haven't really drilled here in the U.S. for a long time, and I think a lot of stuff's going to get really cheaper once gas prices come down. I mean, we're dealing with a bird flu, so people can say all they want about inflation going up. Yeah, of course, eggs and chicken is going to go up. I mean, we have a chicken shortage right now because of so many have died or been put down because of they're afraid of spreading the virus, right? So once that all settles down, inflation could come down. But this isn't a crypto thing. This is a macro thing. This is the stock market being potentially out of steam and needs a little bit of pullback before we can pull up, and it's seeing that right now as well.
Yeah, and I also think it has a lot to do with a little bit of uncertainty. With our space, a week is like a month. And right now, even in regular society, because you have, the opposition side that is kind of the minority now, which is, odd after the last 4 years. But, they're like really just trying to pinpoint every little, misstep or every little situation that might be negative right now. But you have to remember, January 20th was what, we're looking at like 23 days ago. So not even a full month with this new administration, right? So, this is kind of getting through the bumps and bruises, in my opinion. And they mentioned that even before he got into office. Hey, look, like in the beginning, there's going to be some bumps and bruises. We got to get through that little pain period of, people trying to speculate on possibly how the next 4 years is going to go, while at the same time rolling out the initiatives of tariffs and budget cutting and all that stuff. So I think we just got to kind of get through that part. And I'm hoping that happens in the next couple of weeks, at least through like the scrutinizing every little thing, next 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously the opposition is going to be a constant, like, nag, in my opinion, on it. But so, hopefully this gets a little bit, people can zoom out a little bit and see, okay, the next, 12 months will be okay. Next 3-4 years will be fine.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I have a chart here that actually kind of shows exactly what you're talking about here. So, well, not to see, but CPI has kind of marked the last 5 bottoms for BTC and possibly even more from further back. So we can see here, this was a CPI and then up only, CPI up only, CPI up only, CPI up only, CPI up only. But do we see it again? Do we see CPI up only? And that will take us potentially 108, 109 back to all-time highs.
So let me see here. So you're telling me, for the data that you've shown us, that there's 100% win rate for the question that you're asking. I'm gonna say yes, up only after the CPI.
Well, but yeah, 100%. I mean, but this chart's not showing what happened back here, right? I mean,
honestly, I don't really need to know what happened back there. If I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident it's gonna be an up only situation here. When does that start? Hopefully end of this
tomorrow,
week,
really, right?
I hope. I mean, let's see. I mean, there's a couple little red candles in between, but you're right. In terms of like the let's say the midterm, which in crypto I could say next month or so, you would think that's where things are going to start uptrending. And how long does that last, though? That's the question.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. If these are CPI data, CPI is once a month, right? So this is 1 month. This is potentially 1 month. We did see up and then down. We could see that again too, right? We go up, but I mean, normally it does go up before it does go down. So same thing, up. And
I'd like to see that after that second one. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
that second one right there. That's the CPI I want to see.
And we could see that. We could see that, and we should see that, honestly. Whether it's a CPI or next one.
I want that. I want that.
Yeah. Trump came out. I'm guessing Trump already knew what the CPI was, because he came out right before Jerome talked and he said, interest rates should be lowered. Like, I'm guessing he's like, yeah, what's the CPI? As president, you're probably like, I need that data right now. And they're like, here you go. So he knew what it was before it happened, because I don't think he would have put out this out there before the CPI. So he said interest rates should be lowered. And obviously Trump's speaking today, so that could be he wanted to put this out there before Jerome. But it seems like Trump wakes up at like 7 in the morning, dude, because he's out getting information out super early. I mean, Biden was like 2 o'clock and then to 4 o'clock, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean that's the rumors, right? That he's like a workhorse in terms of like constantly trying to be on top of stuff, waking up early and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like this kind of statement there, and then also a bit of the sentiment in terms of Powell's response to questioning from the opposition side of like, hey, Trump's trying to do this, this, and that, and then like Powell's response to me was like a neutral slash a little bit positive sentiment. So I think that I don't know if that means that we're going to get rate cuts soon, but what I do think is that like he's probably not opposed to lending his ear to like the suggestions and stuff.
Yeah, 100% agree. And like another rate cut would be awesome, but I would just love to see them stop tightening, even pause and just kind of hold what you have now. I mean, I think that would. I mean, right now they're selling into the bond market every day, right? So I mean, that gets exhausting, especially for the bond buyers. So but crypto task force head Hester Pierce says meme coins do not fall under the SEC's jurisdiction. And they asked her, they said, does the Trump and First Lady dropping a meme coin, does that mess your job up? And she said, we're not even looking at meme coins. Like that's not a part, and unless the Congress wants to tell us that meme coins are part of the SEC, I mean, they're not securities. That's what Hester Pierce said yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's trying to make a clear statement about meme coins and saying, "Hey, look, that might be under the CFTC, that might be under a different department, but it doesn't really belong under the SEC." And I think previously, she made a comment here or there, basically saying, "Hey, look, you can look at it as like a collectible, but like higher risk, obviously. So if you lose money on something like that, then you should be educated enough to know that like." There's not going to be an enforcement from the SEC for that. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I'm fine with.
100%. Yeah. I don't think, I obviously don't think crypto is security. I think it's something else. I don't think it's a commodity. I think Bitcoin's a commodity, like gold and stuff like that. But I don't see crypto stuff with teams behind them working on them as a security. Some could be. I mean, there's probably some that are, but I think we need to figure out which ones are and which ones not. I think we need a different department, a crypto, maybe even led by someone like Hester Pierce to kind of lead the SEC, to lead this new department. But I think we need a new department to kind of push crypto to its own thing, because there's going to be just too many things happening. And then maybe we can push some crypto to the SEC as well.
Yeah, I mean that's what her job's going to be, right? She's head of the digital asset, which was a new department created and put her in charge, which I think was the perfect person. So
I guess my question would be: is that similar to the SEC then, or is that just a task force that's like doing?
I think it's a division of the SEC, right? But it's all like I do think that there's going to be like securities that come out of this, and it's going to be more of like the traditional maybe stock type of companies that have like a raise, and then they have a revenue model and they report and those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like that type of crypto digital asset class is something I think that would fall under her jurisdiction or whatever it may be. I don't know. We're still learning, right? Because this is new. Yeah. Even for her, it's new. But she seems to be like, even with the last administration, always wanting to work with, the administration in place to make it clear. And I think that she's going to be very, open-minded to work with David Sachs, to work with the CFTC, to work with the different departments and say, hey, let's just make this not like, everything's going to be just easy for everybody that's in that industry, but clear. And we want to have a welcoming type of innovative approach for these builders instead of pushing them away and scaring them and, making them be more anonymous. That's a part of like the anonymous builder trend, is because people don't know what if they can, get sued by the SEC, if who knows, their project could blow up and then do very well, and they're like, okay, well, what do we do now? Like we're like a public company, but like we're not, because we're crypto. So now they're going to have more guidance and more clear guidelines, which is huge in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. But the difference between a crypto company and a regular company is crypto companies, they're kind of allowed to crowdfund, right, with people that are non-accredited investors, while startups can only take money from accredited investors, right? So people who know that, hey, what I'm doing is risky. I mean, we know that too, right? Everything we do, but difference is there's a laws in between them, right? There's laws
Yeah.
between what startup can do and what a crypto company can do. Well, there's no laws, but
Yeah.
when a crypto company
Not
can you
yet.
guys do whatever you want. So, but we got to figure.
But I will say this, that the benefits of having that accredited investor group is the fact that like these new startups from like, let's just say tech startup from Silicon Valley, right? Like they know that they have to bring it to present to these accredited investors, and then more times than not, like if they do get investment, they get solid investment that backs them, gives them runway for like 5 years or something.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so whenever you raise money in this kind of new way of digital assets, you don't get that same kind of investor because there isn't like the regulation that protects the accredited investor too.
Exactly.
So if that starts to happen, expect similar like quality type of startups to be coming out of the crypto space as well.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Coinbase to hold its first ever X Space on February 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. CEO Brian Armstrong will be attending and answering questions, and there's rumors that there's going to be an announcement. They also want to get people to let them know how they should start listing coins. Apparently, listing coins has been tough for them because they don't know the rules and stuff like that, and they potentially could have a plan in place for people to go vote on the coins that they want. It's very similar to what Binance has. But what do you think about this? The first ever X Space, and they kind of want to get the community involved.
I think this is smart. I think this is smart by Brian Armstrong because the game has changed with this new administration, and so when out of all of the centralized exchanges, I would say Coinbase is probably the most from TradFi. TradFi is the most receptive to them. You know what I mean? Like we'll accept them first in that first line, right? But at the same time, with this new administration coming in and there's like, okay, there's going to be some sort of kind of a little bit of crossover with TradFi, like investing in quality companies and now digital assets. Like, are there going to be quality companies in digital assets? And then with this past 12 months, you have, Coinbase launching crazy stuff like, and it's really quick that they would, because it's like a race, right? It's like, okay, we want to earn those fees. So like when Dog with Hat they're like, okay, I want to get on that. You know what I mean? And so I think once they kind of have that like activity, and then now this new group of like, I would say like maybe even like a higher quality investor mindset. I say higher quality because they're from TradFi, not necessarily better. You get what I'm saying though. And they see that, and they see like Coinbase is listing meme after meme after meme. To them, it might not be like, oh man, like I don't want to get involved with that. Like I'd rather go. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and to see like to get into an exchange or platform that is gonna bring on innovative like projects that have backing and have like a runway and have revenue books that they can meet with their investors and stuff. And I know that like that might not happen, that changeover, but that's what they're used to. And I think that there's going to be like a middle ground, and that maybe that's why Coinbase is doing this. Is that to hold an X Space though, they're probably going to get a lot of degens, but at the same time, maybe they get some of those older investors too. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Why do you think because they've kind of paused the brakes a little bit in terms of like listing like the next hot meme, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that I think they're trying to change stuff up. I think they want to, but I think they want to make it feel like it was the community that's changing things up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we'll just put that out to them, and then hopefully they agree to it. But in reality, it's like they're gonna like this, right? So I don't know. I feel like they want to make sure everyone's involved, but you got to remember, so if you're a project and you're sitting there and you want to build either on Solana or somewhere else, right? You do Solana because of liquidity. We do know that there's insane amount of money on Solana, and then people maybe build on Base for reasons like maybe I get listed on Coinbase. I mean, that's what you see Virtuals did, right? Virtuals could have
didn't work though.
Went to Solana, it didn't work. So I'm thinking that the space could be pushing people to build on Base and say, hey, like we're sorry we didn't list Virtuals, but like maybe tell the reasons why they didn't list Virtual. I don't know. There got to be something involved.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, because like if they're getting if the government's going to bring clarity, then the centralized exchanges need to bring clarity as well. And so it's kind of like a trickle down effect, right? But one thing that I have seen some information on is some of these leaders in the Coinbase organization that is really a part of the base organization, but they're more in control of the base chain, talking about how like everything's going to be on base. And when they said everything's going to be on base, they're talking about like big brands and stuff, right? So tokenization of stuff. This also could be a part of that discussion, which if that's the case, then that's gonna be an interesting space. I'm gonna join it just to listen to, obviously for the show and stuff, but it can be exciting, but also it's gonna be some adjustment, I think, from people that have been here for the past 10 years in crypto, right? Because now let's say that like Nike decides to release their loyalty token for their customers, right? It's not their stock. That's their loyalty token. So every time someone buys shoes, they get like a little bit of this token if they scan a QR or something, right? And then that will get listed on there or something. That's just speculation. I'm just made that up in my head, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. Or like maybe Nike NFTs, right? Because Nike has deals with athletes. Like, hey, we want to create these NFTs. We're going to put them on base chain and stuff like that, right? I mean, that could happen as well. For extra revenue and stuff like that, and maybe we get this collector coming. Dude, if Nike had their own NFTs, I mean, that would be huge, wouldn't it? Or an NFT marketplace.
I think so. I think it could do. I think it could do very well, but also, there were like you can go back to like NBA Top Shot, right? Like to where, and I think that was ahead of its time a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so now with regulation, though, there can be actually huge investors that like could have invested in NBA Top Shot back then, you know. So like now, if they were to release NBA Top Shot, so in that sense, but I don't know. I don't know what that is going to look like, because that's the one thing that we don't have clarity on, not from a regulation standpoint or anything. Like it's like what's the clarity on huge current like brands in the world and what their next step is going to be with crypto. Right? We know that gaming is inevitable, so we've read some articles where that's going to be integrated, maybe Rockstar or whatever. But
100%.
and then we know Sony launched Sonium, which is Ethereum layer 2. But like we still don't know like how like big brands are going to come into the game, right? I think loyalty is a really good thing, but then like loyalty programs, but then like how will big investors look at that? You know what I mean? Like TradFi investors say, okay, do I want to invest into their loyalty token? Well, which I think would actually do extremely well. People probably invest in it, like in our space, the market cap could get really high, but does it work? There's going to be a lot of kind of innovative testing, I think, happening the next couple of years, but it's exciting too.
A lot of it could happen on base, though. I think that's kind of
that's the statement that they, some of their CTOs and stuff have made.
To your point, a loyalty token would just be a meme coin, right? That they create and they give it to people.
But you can use it. You can use it to get merchandise. You can use it to, those kind of things. So it's like a point system, except for it's tokenized.
Yeah, 100%. So, the SEC must acknowledge Grayscale's XRP ETF filing by tomorrow. They have to acknowledge that it is in, it's going to get voted upon. What do you think about that? So we saw Cardano put their paperwork in yesterday, or Grayscale put the Cardano paperwork in yesterday, but Grayscale's XRP was put in December, I want to say. So what do you think? Do you think they come out and
I think they approve it?
I just don't know the process. I just don't know the process that has to be taken in this. That's my only issue. But I just thought it was definitely something to put on the show, because if we get an XRP one,
because you love XRP. One. That's why.
You know me. but if this passes, Cardano should easily pass, and Cardano is going to be a Bitcoin layer 2. So I think that's why that's important. So
I mean, I think the only reason things would get hung up would be like procedural stuff, like paperwork, make sure you're correcting this, correcting that. If ETFs start to get held up, specific ETFs, you could kind of be like, okay, is there some sort of like favoritism and stuff like that? But I don't think that this SEC wants kind of all that pass behind them. And so that's why I expect for ETFs to have a more smoother process of making it through.
Yeah, 100%. And if the paperwork is right, I mean, it's Grayscale, right? This isn't their first ETF. They know what to put in it, what not to put in it. So
exactly.
Goldman Sachs increased its spot ETF Ethereum holdings by 2,000%. They're holding $476 million worth of Ethereum ETFs, along with boosting its Bitcoin ETF stash to over $1.5 billion. This is Goldman Sachs. This is Jamie fucking Dimon that is buying this shit, right? Or is he JP Morgan? No, he's Goldman Sachs.
He's Morgan. He's Morgan.
Morgan.
JP
Okay.
Morgan,
Okay.
yeah.
JP Morgan. But this is JP Morgan's biggest competitor now, sitting here buying Ethereum ETFs. Pretty insane.
Yeah, it is. But you know, I've always felt like the institutions were bullish on Ethereum. You know, people. There's rumors around that like a lot of big people got into their was it IDO or their ICO when it happened, and so there's been a big push, and it even goes back to kind of why. You know, XRP was maybe pushed to security status, right? Or like that lawsuit was because like there was more people that were leaning in on Ethereum that had political power. We're talking about back in 2000, what, like 16, 17, whenever that started, right? So, anyways, I'm not surprised. And I actually expect this to continually ramp up. So we started seeing some headlines about Ethereum, you know, being bought up a ton. Obviously, it's right in our face with World Liberty Coin. But then you see other institutions like BlackRock starting to pick it up with their ETF. Now Goldman Sachs. So I think this is a bullish sign, right? Like because they're expecting, to me, they're expecting an alt season. They're expecting at least like Ethereum to correct. So,
100%. Yeah, man. Go to the next thing here. Stablecoin circulating supply has surged by 16.79 billion since 2025 started. I mean, we're talking 38 days, 42 days here since 2025 started, totaling about $211 billion in circulation per day. So, wow, dude. I mean, it's being absolutely insane, the amount of stablecoins that are being printed. And how do you print stablecoins? People have to deposit USD in, and on the other side you get a Ethereum wallet address or a Solana wallet address depending on where you want to go, and you get that on the other side. So there's a lot of stablecoins being printed and they're just sitting there.
Yeah, which means that people are trying to get ready on the sidelines or are coming out of their positions and just saying we want to wait and not bleed further down.
That could be it too. Yeah, that could be it too. The other
which
way,
unfortunately, hopefully it's not that one. But
well, the thing is about when it's being printed, though, it has to come from somewhere. And if it's going from, let's just say Solana, for instance, going into stables, it's stables that are already there, that are in the LP pools. But if it's coming from TradFi or the normal world, that's how it's being printed. Otherwise, that you would see a decline of stables going out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, typically, whenever Tether starts to mint more USDT, Bitcoin eventually like goes up not long after.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is kind of that situation, but like I hope it's not like they think that you know the space is going to bleed out. Have you ever seen Super Troopers?
That movie? Of it.
Yeah, there's a part on there where like the cops are pulling over the guys that just ate the shrooms.
Yeah.
And his friends like, dude, pull over because he's already stopped or whatever. And then the cops like, pull over, and then the guy looks back and goes, he can't pull over any further. He's already pulled over. And I feel like that's how we are with like bleed out. You know what I mean? Like we're at this point, like we can't bleed any further. Like we've already bled like so much. You know what I mean? But you know, of course we can, and I hate if that happens.
I listen to a lot of stock traders, and they don't like to buy the bottom either. They like to buy on momentum, and that's really big in TradFi that I really didn't know about. Like they like to buy after that first, and they're completely okay with because they don't want to sit in something sideways for too long because if something opportunity comes, now they're kind of stuck in that position. They like to get in things with momentum and then ride it up. So they always say the one guy, Dennis, Triple D, they call him. It's like Dennis. He always talks about how, it's like his middle initial is his name's Dennis Dick. His middle initial is something, I don't know. But anyway, I didn't want to say his name, but yeah, Triple D. He says he never wants to buy the bottom. He always wants to buy on momentum, and I think a lot of TradFi guys think like that as well.
Yeah, because it's hard to time the bottom, right? And so if you feel good about it and you're like, okay, this could go down further, but I feel comfortable if it does, then, you know, that's in my opinion, the best strategy if you're trying to get in. Because like, those people that have big influence, they're always like, I called the bottom at blah, 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 blah. I called the top at blah, blah, blah. Okay, dude, like whatever. Like that's not a good strategy to try to do that.
for them too, they like to buy when there's a lot of volume, because they say volume is liquidity. And when, you know, they right now there's not a lot of volume even for stuff like Solana, but to say stuff starts getting picked up and the price is going up, the volume comes in, that's when they like to buy. They look at things differently than we do. We look at it in price, they look at it in volume. And I'm really starting to try to understand that as well.
Yeah, volume plus trend though, right? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, if they're seeing an uptrend and high volume, bam, like right there.
Time to get in.
Yeah. High volume, downtrend, probably time to get out. Like this like
Yeah.
super aggressive high
Yeah,
volume.
that's true. Trump's World Liberty Financial announces a strategic token reserve called Macro Strategy. With an
I
aim
hate
to
that.
foster leading projects such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cryptocurrency. Ondo Finance partners with Trump World Liberty to bring tokenized real-world assets on chain, integrating USDY, OSG, and more into the WLFI's ecosystem. So I went and I checked their site because we knew they had over $300 million. Where did all their money go?
They have 38 million now.
Yeah, they had almost
Oh.
400 million.
Oh man, I don't know, bro.
The Bitcoin
Like,
is gone. The Ethereum is gone. The staked Ethereum is gone.
did
The
they?
only I remember hearing a rumor that they were sending everything to Coinbase and
Okay,
using
maybe they're doing that.
Coinbase's
Custodian.
their staking program.
Okay, so that's probably what they did.
But still, I was like, I didn't realize they took, you know, $300 million there.
Oh, so they were a part of the so Binance did a shuffle too, right? And so they actually made a statement. They said we're making routine movements. This was February 3rd. Routine movements of our crypto holdings as part of a regular treasury management and payment of fees and expenses to the address working capital requirements. To be clear, we are not selling tokens. We're simply reallocating assets for ordinary business purposes. These actions are intended to be part of maintaining a strong, secure, and efficient treasury. No need to speculate. This is all standard practice for managing operations for WLFI. Thanks for following along and continue to build for the future.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing here, Franklin Templeton officially launches its tokenized money market fund FOBXX on Solana. Franklin Templeton, massive TradFi product. They're launching their money market account on Solana. First of many, right? I mean, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, on Solana. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess you know they feel like that the liquidity's there, so it makes sense for them to do that. I'm interested to see what Ondo's chain is going to look like once they have that ready as well, because I feel like Ondo's chain is going to be like a TradFi haven. And then Franklin Templeton, though, this is interesting. I mean, I think this is interesting that they pick Solana, even though the liquidity is there. That's not like a Solana like culture, you know what I mean? But we'll see.
Definitely, 100%. Crypto.com receives regulatory approval to provide crypto services to all European Economic Area and member states. Crypto.com seems to be really pushing forward here. This is absolutely huge for them. Coinbase doesn't even have this. So this is pretty big for Crypto.com to really kind of push that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I used to be on top of Crypto.com news because I used to dabble in the Kronos chain, and so they have been like prepping and laying the groundwork for regulatory opportunity for the past, like, I would say 4 years, right? And so like they were doing stuff with the US even though during the time that the US was like kind of like SEC was pushing them away and all that stuff, but they were still doing like, okay, what can we do, and so I'm not surprised to see this with the, you know, European Economic Area as well, because they probably have done that in all of the major market areas. So I would not be surprised if they end up being like a leader kind of, you know, digital asset institution and like a top 3 eventually or something like that.
Yeah. Would you consider them a top 5 exchange?
Not in terms of like the, you know, crypto Twitter, you know, perception, but I think from an institutional perspective and what they have in terms of like like a corporate structure, they're actually one of the most organized that I've seen. Now, are they doing shady stuff behind the background? Probably most, you know, centralized exchanges have been for the past like 10 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But now they're going to have to probably come in to button all that out. But from a outside perspective, they look very structured.
Yeah, 100%. I was watching ESPN the other day, and one of the best players, like, you remember exactly where you were at that point? And he was like, yeah, I was in the crypto.com arena. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Which
Like,
has
it's
been there
crazy
for
to
a
hear
while.
that. I know, but it's just
the Lakers
crazy to
arena,
hear
right?
that. Yeah. It's just crazy to hear that on ESPN, the crypto.com arena. Like, it's just like, oh, wow. Like, what was it called before? Staples Center, right?
Yeah, Staples.
Yeah. So. Ooh, all right. Let's kind of get into that Bitcoin fear and greed. So last week we were at a 54. Last Wednesday, yesterday, on Tuesday we were sitting at a 47. Today we're a tiny bit under that 47. I'll give you that hint because it's very boring.
46.
Yep, right there. Sitting at
Yay!
46. So it feels 46. I want to say it feels lower, but it doesn't. If it feels meh.
It feels
Doesn't
right
feel
at
like-
46.
Yeah, it feels very meh. So.
Meh.
All right. Let's get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the entire Bitcoin ecosystem because they're going to allow you to trade things like Ordi and Sats and many, many more. These guys are going to be doing their paper trading competition very soon, and then mainnet probably in a month or so. They are trying to get something together. There's a big announcement coming. These guys are building in the background. Just be patient with them, and I do like how they're being very patient. And it's not the market that launched just yet anyway, but they want to enrich their community, guys. So once the paper trading competition is available, you need to be one of the first people on it. You need to be the first person playing with bitperp.io and like whatever else they have. But they're going to be absolutely amazing. Right now they're doing interviews with people, trying to ask them questions, stuff like that. If you are interested in doing a BitPerp interview with them and just kind of get your feels on the leverage trading and stuff like that, please reach out to us and we'll set you guys up with that. But they're trying to make their site absolutely perfect and would love feedback from the community as well. So reach out to them or reach out to us. That is bitperp.io. You find them on Twitter as well at bitperp.
Yep. All right, guys. Before we get into the Bitcoin price action, you know what time it is. Help us out on the YouTube side by smashing that like and subscribing to the channel and turning your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, hit that like for us as well. Share the space so we can educate and onboard as many people as possible to the Bitcoin ecosystem. And on the abstract side, if you could share the stream as well, that would be great. Thank you guys so much. So let's jump into some Bitcoin price action here, which a little bit of volatility, with the CPI coming out today, but not too bad. You can see here we are sitting at 95,668 right now. In terms of the leading indicators, I use the MACD and the stochastic RSI, which are pretty top level, right? So this is kind of entry level kind of TA right here. We don't get too deep over in this segment. Just kind of give you our thoughts on possibly where it could be heading today in the next couple of days. So you can see here we had this big spike down with the CPI. It was exaggerated in my opinion, and it proved to be true because it bounced right back. We aren't exactly where we were, but we're getting close to that. Right before CPI hit, you can see the MACD looks decent. It doesn't look strong necessarily, but it got stronger than where we thought it was going to reverse and go into sell pressure. So I think we're going to probably see a little chop here to see where the rest of today wants to go, because I actually expected for TradFi to really dump pretty hard based on the knee-jerk reaction from the CPI. So they didn't, and so I think we could be kind of consolidating here a little bit for the next couple hours, maybe in the day with a little positive note, maybe a little uptrend, but we'll see. Let's take a look here on the support and resistance on the hour chart. This goes back to, I want to pull in the data here. It's more recent. This is going to go back to like 4 a.m. today. You can see where we are right here, which is that 95,669. So this region right here, we're actually a little bit stronger in the support area. It was showing that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So right here, that price point. Yeah. So we just lost the support. It just went back to resistance here. And then we have the support level right above that. So 95,700 though, and it looks like we're getting through it. So if we can push through, sometimes there'll be some bigger buyers than sellers. We'll push through, then we'll have some support here. Then we get hit kind of a little bit of a wall here at 95,900. As you can see, it's almost double the resistance and support right here, and then just really resistance up in this area. So getting it back to 95,900 is possible, but then getting through that to like 96,000, we're gonna have to have some, you know, big buyers come in and really push through this, which, you know, that takes some time. So we might just kind of consolidate here with trying to knock down these walls for a while, then push through, or we just get rejected and we, you know, hang out in this area, maybe a little bit downtrend. So I don't see anything like horrible unless some bad news comes out for us to really dump harder. I think we responded very well, in my opinion, to the CPI data. So let's see how the rest of today goes. And then the next couple days here on the 4-hour chart. So this did break into sell pressure on, let's see, early yesterday we started it, but it has weakened the entire time. And that's one of the things, is that like we are sitting like in the mid 95,000s right now, but we aren't really like having this extreme pressure, you know, sell pressure downwards to get to the low 90s or the high 80s. We're just not seeing that. Like once it kind of gets down like below 95, 94, it kind of bounces back, right? And then typically what's happened in the last month or so is that we'll range back to like 98, or like even try to get barely across 100 and then range back. It's been swinging. So kind of like this consolidation period for the last month, I feel like is what we've been going through. So we are due, in my opinion, eventually, you know, for a strong uptrend. Yeah. But maybe that CPI chart actually happens, right? Like after CPI, couple days, and then we see that strong uptrend. But that is what I'm seeing for today and the next couple of days. Today's going to really determine the next couple of days if we can get out of the sell pressure or not. And tomorrow I'll probably have a little bit more clear, you know, perception on the next couple of days for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. And tomorrow we do get PPI, which is producer. This is basically from business to business. So we'll see if those prices come down a little bit or stay the same or go up. I don't know. But that could be, you know, that could be something as well. PPI doesn't really move the markets. It's usually CPI because that's what the consumer feels. You don't really feel, I mean, you know, if the producer wants to take a loss on something, that's their choice, but it doesn't really ever happen. So,
yep.
Let's kind of get into the next thing here, which is the roll call. Shout out to you guys who make roll call every single day. And I just saw my guy in here, but I'll get to him in a second. First is first here. Let me bring up my first chart here. And let's see it. It is ASAP Benji. Congratulations to you, my friend. And so yesterday we had WebDrill for his 7th win, and now it's ASAP Benji. Yep, you must be already in here, ASAP. Let's see. Yep, it's your second. Congratulations to you, my friend. You are, let me fix your A here.
Yeah, I think what was a super fan came in at like 3:30 in the morning, I guess, time. So 5:30 for me, and said, "Man, the chat is lively at 3:30 in the morning." So, you know, shout out to you guys for staying competitive with this. I love the energy, especially kind of in a down market, and you guys are keeping it. You know, like for us, like I think every streamer right now, you know, numbers are a little bit lower just because the interest in the space is down a little bit right now. But we, as you guys know us, we're going to keep grinding every day, you know, even harder and even harder. And so you guys doing this shows us that y'all are on the same wavelength as us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Really appreciate you guys watching and being here every day. And the comments help us. It helps to push the content out. So if you are somebody who, you know, who just watches the show, please throw a comment in there every day if you don't mind. And I like it. Obviously, we don't really push the likes as much as we should, but they really help us, guys. If you guys really wouldn't mind pushing them, I don't want to be that guy to say, if we get 5 more likes, I don't want to do that. But if you guys wouldn't mind helping us out, hitting that like button, it'll mean a lot to us. Danny Boy in that number 2 spot. He says, "Damn, second again. Congrats. I'm happy for you." That's one thing about our communities here. They're happy for each other when the other person wins. I'm so glad I started recording this because it's going to be cool to see throughout the year, especially if WebJoe doesn't run away with it. That's my guy, though. I love him. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh, is here. He loves me and I love you. Let's effing go with his Billy Cat. One of the few people still rocking that Billy Cat. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Matt's with his goose, his cursed goose, if that. Shout out to Matt, shout out to Goosenals, and shout out to the cursed gooses. Then my man WebJoe comes in. What is WebJoe's PFP? Is that a pill? That's the pill, right?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the Bitcoin pills. Yep. And I have all my Billy Cats still, by the way. Every single one.
Then we have WebJoe. He says Bitcoin tightening up for something. Yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens with that. Then we got my man Tim Baker, AODR himself. He says, "Let's go." PJNZ is here, scooping runes from the gutter. Yes, you are, man. I actually want to do a runes update. Remind me to do that later. I kind of want to see where they're at. Superfan, it's busy in the chat at 3:30 a.m. Shout out to Superfan, man. For him to even check in at 3:30, that's pretty awesome. Shout out to you guys. And Nagi is here. And then my guy, we got Big Rod.
Rod!
He said is planning to be the first, but by the end of the month. Let's see if Rod can get the first place.
Dude, I love how he talks in third person. He's like, Big Rod is planning to be in the first. He's like, Big Rod strong, Big Rod fast.
Shout out to Big Rod. He said Big Rod is planning to be the first. I love you, Big Rod. You're my guy, bro. Chief Axel is here. Shout out to Chief Axel every single day, man. Appreciate you, my friend. And then Choda, our guys, Choda Satoshi here. I think you're here all week this week, man. Appreciate you. Hit likes and share the stream, guys.
Yes.
Show love to Shizzy Young. Yes, thank you so much, Choda, man. You are a hero. And then our guy, Nighthawk UXL out in Cali, being the amazing Uber driver he is. He kills it, guys. He makes like a $10,000 a night. Shout out to Nighthawk UXL. Glass Hopper is here. Shout out to Glass Hopper. Glass Hopper was playing with us yesterday, bro. He brought his boy in there too. He had a couple of people in there. We at Team Ordinal Revolution did not win, but we're gonna get better. We're gonna get better. So tune in next Tuesday. Play with us, and if you are really good at gaming, maybe Big Rod. I don't know if you're good at gaming, but you should definitely join us next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's a live stream, but we'll also share the link so you can play with us in game as well.
Yeah, yesterday was the best one. I feel like, don't you?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah,
it was my most kills. I never got more of the kills than I had yesterday.
I mean, my most kills too. But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, man. Stevie J is here. Tim Baker says Nike already did NFT Artifact. They got me. I turned in my NFT and got real crypto kicks. Space Matter. Then they rugged like decentralized. I'll look into that. It sounds brutal. Rick G says long live Bitcoin and Ordinal Revolution. Yes, sir. And we got No with his Nuki. Shout out to No. Shout out to the Nukis, man. Shout out to all you guys. And then Joko with his Goosenal. Shout out to the Goosenals again. Myself, he says the influx of TradFi short-term trend players is reshaping crypto. In early days, the most rewarding strategy was to buy early and hold, which delivered the best gains in the world over years. A like reminder helps. I always forget. I can remind you on that. But to your point here, you are 100% right. It is the traders coming in, right? I mean,
well, no, I think hodling comes back. Especially whenever TradFi, there's this like new influx of startups that are different. We're gonna start seeing them. They're different, and I do think like holding some of these established meme communities, I think that matters. Do I think they're going to be like what we experienced the past 12 months? No, I think we just went through the .com bust bubble pop of meme coins. I think that's what we just experienced. And so like there's going to be a couple that like have strong communities that can really prop up. Like, to be honest, not biased, honestly, like I wasn't crazy about Dog initially, but I feel like from a community perspective, if you look at Leo's tweets, dude, like 500 likes. You're talking about like 100 plus comments, and not just him, other people in the Dog community, 100 likes, 150 likes, and all these things. So that is what I think that people are going to look for. Is there an actual? What do I get with this meme coin? Do I just get making money? If that's the case, then these meme coins that do that, they don't last very long in terms of high market cap. But if I get a community, then that's something that can hold the market cap up, because they actually like work together to try to do an initiative like this new, I guess, like narrative that Leo and the Dog army is trying to do. We'll see if it works, but I would never get into Dog with Hat or Popcat or anything like that, because there's no one that they don't have a similar community, in my opinion. But
I actually 100% agree with that. I mean, Leonidas is like, he's the guy, man, and he doesn't stop. And I honestly thought he would. I thought he would just push it for a little while and kind of
that would have been the easy way, right?
Well, you got to remember too, he's also helping Ord.io. So it's not, he's not just he actually built a business around Ordinals and now integrated Runes. And the Runes part of it is actually the real business, because you can go there and you can actually, they earn fees, right? They're not really earning the fees off of the Ordinals. They kind of just show you a ether scan type of environment. But with Runes, they actually make fees. So I think Runes go up, fees for Ord.io. So at the same time, is a little bit of a reason to do that, right? So but which is good, because you do want your guy to be,
fighting for the bags,
fighting for it, but also exactly, 100%. Big Rod does speak it. Speaks third person for the LOL. Shout out to Big Rod. He said Big Rod's gaming days are behind him. Can't get ahead around an Xbox PS5 controllers. Give me a joystick with a fire button, and I'm good. Hell yeah, bro. Shout out to you. And myself said I really hold Diamond Hand mentalities come back.
He
I really
hopes.
hope Diamond Hand mentalities come back. I'm overseeing all the cheaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's exhaustion. It's exhaustion.
really
And I
is.
think that like even people in the Solana space are feeling it too. But I don't know if you got Ant-Man up there, but it's good seeing him for sure in the chat. I think you might have got it.
Yeah, I might have
him.
missed him, but I'll spend some time with Ant-Man. He's a legend here. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here today. I do apologize if I did miss you there, though. But good catch. Good catch. And we got Leonidas. He says, with a tweet here. This is not a comment in the chat. This is a tweet. But he said, dog bridges are in the works. Dog Hyperliquid, dog Ethereum, dog Cardano, dog Solana. He did skip on like Merlin again, but I guess because it's not in the works, it's actually working. But there's the Solana bridge, it's also working. Why do you think he keeps ignoring Merlin?
No, he's talking about dog though. So the ones that like are active dog are gonna be
Merlin
coming
is-
up for no. Like he's not putting active dog stuff on that tweet. He's only putting what's coming. You get what I'm saying? So like for
Gotcha.
example, like 4 bridges that are in the works.
In the works.
So
Okay.
exactly. So that's why.
I gotcha. Okay. But yeah, so he's doing this, and I'm honestly a little worried. Partially because I've dealt with bridges and I got burned by a bridge that I thought that was the best. So multi-chain, they had their, or was it multi-bridge? They had their bridge there. And I told you guys yesterday, but I had Ethereum on Phantom. And then once that bridge was, they had a multi-sig, they had hardware, right? They had everything. This is the old school way of doing things. The way we're doing it today with Bitcoin, we're actually doing the old school way. We're not doing the Stargate and all these other bridges the way they do it now. The guys were actually using a multi-sig, and the CEO apparently had more than his share of keys, and he was able to take the whole thing. And they actually got moved out to a wallet that he hold. People are saying that the CCP got to him. That's just a rumor. I don't know how true that is, but they actually, are holding this wallet. Nothing really has moved out of this wallet, but nobody has seen him in 3 years. But my Ethereum, because it's just a receipt, you have to remember, once you're bridging your dog to Solana, you are locking your Solana in a wallet that you do not hold, and you're getting a receipt on Solana. And that receipt, you're able to put in LP pools, to trade it, and then redeem it 1 for 1. But if something does happen to the wallet with it actually inside, your receipt goes to 0. And this is something that I've dealt with. I've seen amazing bridges that I did not think would fail. The Ronin bridge was something that no one thought would fail. It was absolutely amazing bridges.
Early days.
They used the same way we're doing it, though.
No,
they used the
smart
multi-sig
contracts.
wallet.
Smart contracts.
They used the multi-sig wallet, and the wallet got compromised.
Multi-sig wallet. It's not the same thing. Did they use hardware that you had to be exactly there? Do you have proof of that? Yes. Also, the new approach is also eliminating yourself from a node, signage provider for the sharding. That's the new way.
Not for Solana.
Well, I don't know, but
Cardano, I'm talking about Ethereum. Okay. None of these bridges here are near. None of these bridges have.
No, but you said Solana, right? So Solana, RuneMine might actually end up using that procedure for Solana, right? Because they're working with Near to be able to Near actually uses Rust as well. So this is a possibility that they could do that.
RuneMine never said anything about using Near to bridge to Solana, though.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying that it could be.
It's working today. They're using multi-sigs. They're using. We don't know if they're using hardware wallet. That never came up in any conversation.
Well, you don't either.
RuneMine. Well, I'm just saying. But the old way of doing stuff.
If you're gonna assume, I'm gonna.
But a lot of multi-sigs, they do use hardware. Like that's kind of the point.
But that's not a lot of a lot of bridges.
Well, a lot of them were using. Well, a lot of they were using this one site, and they actually sold you 3 different hardware wallets when you're using them, and that's what it was back in the day. It was just it was called multi something. It was one of the bigger ones, and I'm just letting you know what happened back in the day.
Yeah.
And they
2022 or 2021
bridges 2022. And a lot of these bridges got
That was
compromised.
3 years
Actually
ago.
it might have happened in 2021 as well. But I'm just saying, though, the new way of doing stuff is through smart contracts. It's trustless. There's no third party. Everything is done. There is no multi-sigs. The new way that Stargate does stuff, the new way that the bridge that we just used with Abstract is the same way. It's all done through smart contracts. Nothing is there's no human involvement whatsoever. But we're going back to the way we used to do things with human involvement.
No, it's
smart
not
contracts and multi-sig
so
for these bridges that he just named.
Okay, so it's not the same way as the old way because they're using different TEE trusted execution environments that weren't used that same way back in the 2022. So
what is that?
Like where you're eliminating yourself from signage. So if I get kidnapped, I literally I can't help you. You're gonna kill me because I can't help you. I don't have my part of the shard to be able to create the key.
There's no sharding with these.
That's what what I'm trying to say is this: is that that approach is possible now because like Emblem Vault uses that to be able to move assets across, right? So hold on. So if it's possible, then why wouldn't these guys use it for the bridges that are coming up? Why would they use something that's less that has more exploit capabilities?
Because it's the old way of doing stuff, and they're bringing it
No,
back.
they could, but the new way is available, is what I'm trying to explain to you. Emblem Vault uses it. Like, why would
they're using lit protocol to do that?
So then, why would they not use lit protocol to bridge?
But I don't think they are.
That's what I'm trying to say. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're just
RuneMine does not.
You're just throwing assumptions.
RuneMine does not.
Right.
RuneMine does not.
Okay, RuneMine doesn't. But like, what about these other ones? And why wouldn't RuneMine upgrade their bridge? So that's something that needs to be brought up to RuneMine.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's kind of doing a disservice for Jeff and RuneMine to assume exactly how their bridge works. You know what I mean?
We know.
So let's let him kind of come on the live and break that down. What we think right now, I think both of us probably think.
There's no reason to put
hold on.
Merlin's been around for 11 months.
Jeff is the founder for RuneMine. Different Jeff. I'm talking about different Jeff.
You said Merlin, and
I got you running in circles now.
You said Merlin, and then you said Jeff. So I don't know what you want me to do with that. You said Merlin, and then
I said RuneMine.
You said Merlin. You said Merlin.
I didn't. You said Merlin in your head to yourself.
Why are you always making this a fight? Like these guys, there is no one coming out saying they're using sharding. They're all coming out and they're all saying they're using multi-sig wallets.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yes.
Emblem Vault said they use that with lit protocol. Near protocol said that they're going to use that as well. So my point is this, and I'm actually going to agree with you on this one part, is that like I'm actually
with the whole thing.
No, because I got you running in circles. So
no,
listen, yeah. Don't get mad, bro. Don't get mad. You just won Super Bowl. Okay, just be happy about that. All right. So my point that I'm trying to make here is this. I agree with you that if we're both going to make assumptions, I think we're both going to make the same assumption here with RuneMine and their bridge from Bitcoin to Solana, is that they use a single NPC and people are sending their runes over there, and then they're doing the other side, the receipt on the other side. So that's what I'm going to assume. I don't know that for 1,000% fact, but that's what I assume from the information and stuff that we both probably have collected together, right? So if that's the case, yes, I think they need to upgrade that 100%. I think they need to upgrade that approach and use this new kind of triple armed guarding type of approach to where you have, the NPC wallet, you have the sharding of keys, but the centralized project doesn't have a shard, right? There's a network that they're not involved with, meaning that you remove them completely from the scenario. So if they get kidnapped, they'll probably end up getting killed because they can't help you. And then the third thing would be the hardware wallet. So you have a triple action there to where you're defending an exploit, right? So that's what everybody needs to use with these bridges. If they can't use them, then probably don't put the bridge there.
My whole point, though, of this entire thing was that Leonidas is rushing this forward, right? He's rushing it forward. And what happens when you rush things forward? You just use the old way of doing things because it's easy. So we do know that Beyond is building a trustless bridge, decentralized using layer 0, and that is huge. But we do know that is months away. That is not coming out anytime soon. We do know
Why do you think it's months away, though? I'm not trying to argue.
I'm still on testnet, and I've been using the testnet to earn points. And
no. I'm saying, why do you think that they are, from a technical standpoint, why do you think they're behind? Like, they can't roll this out today? Because Bitcoin OS is kind of in that same boat, right?
Yeah, so they're all having the same issue with Bitcoin. You know, the same issue we have here with the bridging. I mean, it's just like there's no. It's really hard. The only way to really do it right now is do it the way Emblem Vault's doing it, and it's kind of locking the keys inside. But for layer 0 and stuff, they don't do things that way. They're actually trying to interact with these wallets or creating new wallets to be able to interact with, and so they actually have to create their own wallet. Is what I'm kind of understanding from
Well,
this in order
I
to
think
do this type of stuff.
Emblem takes that approach because they only initially want to focus on clunky type of assets, right? Like for example, taking over ordinals. That's like a easy transaction because you don't have to split the
Well,
non-fungibles up into a
they're
million
not
different
using
pieces.
Bitcoin. They're not they're going around Bitcoin. They're not
Yeah,
actually using Bitcoin at all.
But my point is that they couldn't do that with fungibles because here's the problem. Like, let's say that we sent like 10,000 runes to lock up in a vault, right? Then that 10,000 gets sent over as a representation of 10,000. It's not sent over as a 10,000 individuals. It's sent over as a 10,000 bulk. And they actually did this in 2023 with your favorite coin, OXBT.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So the only difference was that at that time they were one of the shard providers, and now they're removing themselves and removing that centralized approach to it. So, but Near is saying that they can do that with their smart contracts and with fungible tokens and bridging and all that stuff. So if Near can do it, I feel like Bitcoin OS and Beyond can do it. And I have all the confidence that Beyond, probably Bitcoin OS too, but Beyond just has such like strong support with layer 0. I have all the confidence that they're going to be able to pull it off. But I also will give you a little, bit here that I agree with you in a sense that I think he is rushing it a little bit.
Rushing it way too fast. So we do know that there's things you can build. Like Cardano is building, Fluid is building Aquarium, which is a way to kind of connect everything with one center of place, right? So with Aquarium, when you're going to be bridging with that,
you're live too, right?
Well, with I don't
really similar approach.
But exactly. Well, Aquarium, it's going to be done with a site, and everything's going to be kind of they're using FLDT as you're going to be basically use your hash power to kind of make sure that everything's going right. So you basically have you're checking it, and then but you can get slashed if you fuck up, and you can lose some of your FLDT. So you're going to be staking your FLDT, and you're going to be they're basically building a validator for the bridging.
Yeah,
and using of the wallet. So I mean that's something that, but again, nothing is ready, but Leonidas is ready, and that's the problem. And I think in a year from now, I'm going to be fucking gung-ho with bridges. Yeah, these bridges are safe, no problem. Make sure you guys are using Bitcoin OS. Make sure you guys are using Aquarium. Make sure you guys are using Beyond. And let's see if the changes that RuneMine can kind of do. Maybe they do use a sharding with Near and stuff like that. But that's not what we're seeing right now. Isn't the time, and it just takes one bridge to come along. Maybe Leonidas accidentally retweets it and people start using it and they fucking rug. And what that's going to do, they're going to send all your dog to these exchanges and places and dump it on the Bitcoin side, and the prices of these tokens are going to get smashed down pretty hard. Will they recover? Yeah, the 100% they'll recover, but the trust will be gone from bridging, and that would be detrimental to what he's trying to do. I don't think he should rush this right now.
So I think that's I think it's a legitimate like scenario to think about, but I think the fear that it's creating is not like necessary at this point, right? Because number one, we don't even know who the bridges are. Let's kind of get here. And then, but I do agree that scenario should be in everybody's mind, and that's kind of like hygiene, personal, like
that's do your own research,
secure hygiene, do your own research. So that's on the individual. Kind of, we're all big boys here and big girls, right? But I did, so for the audience listening, me and Shizzy have been kind of bantering back and forth about this for the past couple of days, I would say. So it's not, I'm not saying that like he doesn't have a legitimate point. He 100% does. But I think like the fear is unnecessary at this point. But I think what could fix this, and I don't know if people are going to love this, but I think it'd probably be good for the space, is if you're a bridge provider, and I think regulation should be a part of this. If you're a bridge provider, if you are custody of a certain amount of value, right? and you choose to take a custody approach, then you need to KYC, you need to have a legit business, because if something were to happen, someone needs to be held accountable for that. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. That's something that could come in the future, but that's how I feel about it, because at the end of the day, we're gonna end up leaning into chain abstraction anyways. You know what I mean? Like, to where people aren't gonna know where the asset lives, like what chain it does, unless it's directly in the marketing, right? And they won't care. It kind of goes to my argument of everybody's okay to for centralized exchanges to hold 10 billion dog in a centralized wallet, and then trade like visualizations, because it's not any sort of digital asset at that point. You're literally trading on an AWS server hosted platform that is provided by Coinbase, KuCoin, Binance, all these things. But then, like, when it comes to bridging, you guys are like freaking out, right? Like, but the part probably is that like the society will look to the centralized exchange and say you're liable, right? So that's where I think that fix needs to come in. Someone needs to.
That's why,
like, if you're going to create a bridge.
That's why I trust Merlin. Jeff Yin of Singapore. If anything does happen with Jeff's bridge, Jeff will get arrested. Jeff is out there. Jeff is
or
Merlin is
like
in Jeff's name. He will
be accountable.
Yeah, he will get very accountable for what is going on, and he will be investigated by authorities. And that is why I trust the Merlin bridge. But you're going to see bridges come out, and these guys are not going to dox themselves, because it's just going to be, it's too new, and they're afraid. They're all going to be afraid of different things happening. And the reason you don't feel about this, the reason why you don't feel the fear, and this is, I understand this, is you never had to deal with this. You never had to, you weren't actually inside of the bridge or holding a receipt of a token that went to zero. And that is completely understand. A lot of people, it doesn't really affect them until it happens to them. And then they say it'll never fucking happen to me again. And that's what Boda Amin, you never really understand how that bad that sucks, and how bad that could have been avoided by just holding that asset on the original chain that it came from. And that's the thing to me. So a lot of these bridges are going to come out and happen, and none of them are going to be docked. Every single one of these bridges that he just came out and said, Cardano, Ethereum, Hyperliquid, and Dog, if they're available this year, a lot of them will not be doxed.
Well, why wouldn't Cardano be doxed? Because it's going to be people that we know in the space.
So if it's Bitcoin OS, 100%. If it's Fluid, 100%. But I just think that the person that he's talking to right now, we know it's not Fluid, and we know that it's not Bitcoin OS, because
Dan
is 9 months out.
Yeah. The big account, Dan, or whatever his last name is, I forgot. He has like 500,000 followers. Big Cardano guy and big dog guy. He said that he's talked to some builders over there.
And
so
I'm sure
I would imagine. I don't know. Like, why are you so sure?
Because MinSwap's not doxed. Nothing on Cardano is doxed besides Fluid. Fluid's like one of the rarities that's actually doxed over there.
I mean, so I don't know if MinSwap's not doxed.
But I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there that I think that, and it's not smart for these guys to come out and dox right away either.
I disagree with
that. There's going to be a lot of problems in the beginning, especially if you're a new bridge and you're just going to, hey guys, we're an alpha, guys. Until they're actually in, they're out of their MVP, they're out of all that, and they've done all the testing and ready to go. That's when maybe they dox themselves. But I think in the beginning, in the alpha stage, they're not going to.
Yeah, so that I do think that needs to change though too, and I think it will over time in terms of like doxing, because like, especially if we want to make our space legitimate. I mean, like the whole like anonymous decentralized stuff, you can do that by just holding Bitcoin in your ledger and just being a participant. Like, you don't like, if you want to build a product that like is going to benefit the space, you got to dox yourself. You got to put your information out there. And I get why before, but once regulation comes in though, like, it's friendly, you know what I mean? But they're going to go after the people that are not doing it outside. I promise you that. Like, because it'd be like, there's no excuse. There's regulation. If you want to do business in the US, which you chose to allow your website to do that, our, intelligence agencies or our, securities agencies are going to come after you.
But they're also coming out and saying, hey, if you choose to buy a coin, if you choose to use a product that's unregistered, that's on you.
But that was the problem, was there was no clear regulations before. There will be now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what one little person's not going to be able. One little person's not going to be able to stop. Like,
I'm just saying too, and they're not
U.S. coming after them.
They're not going to come after these little guys anyway. They're not going to come.
Yeah, the little ones. Yeah. So it's going to have to be like
sidelines.
It's going to have to be a certain amount, and it's also not going to just. And it won't also be just only the U.S. It'll be like a joint effort, probably like Interpol and the U.S. But it's gonna have to be something that's substantial, like millions of multiple, like tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
But my point is that there'll probably still be small guys trying to get away with it. Also, there's going to be people in the space that will be like, I wouldn't use that bridge, man. People that are experienced will be like, I would stay away from that bridge, or like, I use this one because of this. And so education is going to be a big, important piece, in my opinion. And so we'll see. I mean,
yeah.
Which of the bridges work right now? We have Merlin, we have Stack.
Again, Andre Cronje came out and said, this is my bridge of choice. This is the best bridge. These guys are fucking amazing.
In 2022. In 2022,
it's
like this is 2025. No, there's been a lot of security updates and best practices. Like, people don't want bridges to be hacked. They don't want their reputation to go down the toilet.
I'm just saying, even if Leonidas comes out and backs a bridge, there still could be something that
I don't think he's gonna back a bridge. Dude, we could have a nuclear bomb just drop on like the U.S. tomorrow. Anything, there's a chance of anything.
But there
happening.
hasn't been a nuclear bomb before, but these bridges blow up all the time.
There has been a nuclear bomb before. It's dropped on Hiroshima. What are you talking about?
Well,
and Nagasaki.
Come on,
let me give you a history lesson here, man.
Come on, bro. You're not understanding this because you haven't.
I am understanding.
You're not understanding.
I haven't lost money. I've bridged on multi-bridge. I've bridged on so many other. I never lost money.
Yeah, you never.
You're right. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't lost money bridging.
But you will this time.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you're gonna be stuck in there. Let's just don't use them, but then you can't tell anyone else to use them.
Well, I'm not telling anybody else to use them, but if I do use one, I'm going to do damn good research on the one that I use, and there's going to be reasons why I use it.
What happens if none of them are doxed? Are you just not going to use the bridges?
I mean,
you said you were already on Solana using RuneMine. They're not doxed.
I didn't say I was on Solana using RuneMine.
Well, you said you were thinking about it.
No, I said I would think about. I said I would think about putting LP on Odin.
That's Rune. Well, no, you didn't say Odin.
Yes, I did.
Because you were using that one exchange on Solana. You tell me.
No, I said that there's liquidity here. I said there's liquidity on Jupiter for a $1 billion cat, which is 375,000. There's liquidity for pups on Jupiter for 700K, which I said that's pretty impressive for the fact that that doesn't get talked about in our space very much. You know what I mean? That the fact that there's that much liquidity there. That's what I said.
And Bob is doxed for Odin.
100%.
So that's one of the ones I would use. I would use Jeff. Jeff's doxed for and I kind of wish Leonidas would just partner with Jeff and just kind of move because once you use Jeff's bridge, you're now an ERC 20, and we do know that he is bridging MBTC to Solana, so you can go that way as well. If Jeff, it's already proven, just use Jeff, just use Merlin. I would trust that 100% because Jeff is doxed. Jeff has been around for almost 11 months now with this bridge and the staking mechanism. I would just use that.
And I think MBTC, which is a wrap version, it's a Merlin wrap version of Bitcoin, has like a TVL of like $2 to $3 billion. So I mean, the chain is established for sure.
So I just don't know why you need those other places. What do you say?
Real husbands of crypto. Okay, all right. That was funny. I'll give you that.
It was. Guys, why are you both fighting? Because it's good. It's good for the show. Cheaty says, I always like the back and forth. I enjoy it as well. Healthy and passionate debate. Exactly, Big Rob. You guys get it. I was waiting to see if one of them was actually going to jump across into the other's location. That would be hilarious if both cameras just went down and there's a brawl on his side. Shizzy is not ready to listen to Yagobi because Yagobi hasn't went down in a bridge. And I don't think people who have went down in a bridge understand.
So I gotta suffer.
How shitty that is.
I have to suffer. I've lost stuff in crypto,
but you've never bridged over and had your receipt go to zero. No. But I got a feeling this time around you're going to suffer that. Big Rod also says Big Rod may his way down to the studio steady, and then Matt says real husband of crypto. Shout out to all you guys, man, for listening to us bicker back and forth. But you said, guys, know we are friends. We're friends.
Yeah,
it's just
of course.
It's a fun argument back and forth, and we both respect each other, so that's why these arguments can.
Honestly, we actually learn through them sometimes too. Because I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you're in a wrong, it's clearly wrong position, and you don't accept that, then that's an internal issue for people, And so for me, the banter's fun. It's fun to try to debate and get these little gotchas, but they're all fun and games. At the end of the day, we want to leave these conversations knowing more than we did before.
Yeah. And that's the thing, these conversations need to be had. I mean, there might be someone out there that's like who never put the back and who maybe he was on my side, or maybe he's on your side, and maybe he was either too cautious or not cautious enough. Maybe that helps that person feel that debate. And none of our stuff ever gets personal. And I think that's when arguments kind of change. And that's a lot of people
100%.
don't understand about arguments either. So all right, let's jump to the next thing here. Are Bitcoin Ordinals becoming a counterparty 2.0? Not a bad, just less Bitcoin on-chain activity and more cross-chain volume coming in the future. So this is something we've seen doing our research this morning. We came across Crypto Slam. If you guys don't use them, you guys definitely should. It's one of the best places to see NFT volume and so much more. But I'll let Yagobi take this from here.
Yeah, so for the counterparty fans, they'll get mad at me, don't kill me, because I was the one that came up with this headline. I actually really respect counterparty and the rare Pepe collectors, and because look, those actually have really high value. You guys, I'm surprised that there's not more ordinal people that are involved with that. I'm wanting to start to pick up some of my first rare Pepe things and stuff like that. I just want to learn more about which ones to get, and I actually think that counterparty is a success in terms of the assets they created. Maybe not the on-chain Bitcoin volume or marketplaces, but the total volume of assets that are everywhere in crypto, right? So for the people listening in, Emblem Vault partnered with some of these marketplaces and took counterparty, which are Bitcoin NFTs, in 2021, 2022, 2023, and have done over $100 million in volume, like in Ethereum marketplaces and stuff like that. So when I say are Bitcoin Ordinals becoming a counterparty 2.0, I mean on-chain Bitcoin. And I said not a bad thing, just less Bitcoin on-chain activity and more cross-chain volume coming in the future. Exactly what I explained. And this is what kind of scared me, because this is one of the things that I was actually able to kind of, I guess, leverage on in arguments that like Ordinals are going to be fine. They're going to be okay. They're inscribed on Bitcoin forever, which that's true. But I would always be able to look at the chain rankings, right? And so when I went to like the 24-hour chain rankings, let me actually go to view ranking. No. Let me go back home here and view. There it is. Rankings right here. And I go to blockchain rankings. All right. So typically on the 24-hour, I'd see Bitcoin right here at number 2. Sometimes, rarely, I'd see at like number 3 or 4. But if I'm scrolling down here, on the 24-hour, Bitcoin's at number 22. $813 in volume for the past 24 hours. Now, I feel like this is probably misreported, because if there's only $813 that was spent in the Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem in the past 24 hours, we in trouble or something's happening, right? But yeah, so that was the first thing. Then I said, okay, well, let me check the 7-day. And this was alarming to me as well. 7-day is more than an anomaly. You have a week, right? So to see this at number 5, to me, this is alarming, guys. The total sales volume for Magic Eden, all marketplaces, we're looking at 6.7 million. We have Polygon, for goodness sakes, ahead of us, right? Now, the one good thing is our wash trading is not really high, but you could say that same thing with Polygon. I mean, 3,000 out of 8 million, 280 out of 6.7 million. Then we have Solana. Okay, they're usually 2 or 3 anyways. Bitcoin's typically 2, and Solana would be 3. We have this Mythos, by the way. I'm not sure what this is, but
I think it's something new. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of worked this way. My whole point is that our volume has decreased over the last week and probably 2 weeks. So I do feel a little bit better when I go to 30-day, though. When I go to 30-day, so the last month, we still are in that number 2 spot. So what does this tell me? Either this past week has been an anomaly, which I'm hoping and praying, or we're starting to lose our positioning for digital assets in terms of art and PFP collections and stuff like that. Because 30-day, I don't remember us not being number 2 since probably before 2023. But after Ordinals came in the scene and really started to establish itself, we were at least number 2, and there was multiple times we were number 1, right? So I think this next week is going to be big, because I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this. But this is worrying me a little bit, because there's no way that we should be number 5 on the week and number 23 on the 24-hour ever. That should never happen, in my opinion. But the 30-day saying that still month over month, we are number 2. That has been the only consistent report that I've seen out of these. And then if you go to all time, this makes sense because we have a lot of catching up to do with Solana as Ordinals really started to, grow that on-chain economy in 2023. But if we can get back to what we were doing, we'll pass Solana eventually. And if we can get really bullish on chain, then maybe we can compete with Ethereum. But we have a long way to go for Ethereum. And actually, I'm afraid we're losing our footing for that number 2 spot. Now, what do you think about all that I just mentioned?
Yeah, and the first thing that popped in my head is BRC20s. So we do know that when Bitcoin was number 1, BRC20s were getting counted, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, that's when they were number 1. But even after that, like the past 6 months, when I would check, we were solid number 2, at least on the weekly. Maybe a fluke anomaly on the daily, where we would be like number 4, not number 23.
But I remember people saying too during that time period that, wow, I'm surprised BRC20s are doing so much volume. Remember that? Like months ago? That's not happening right now. There's no volume right now for BRC20s, but especially because BRC 2.0 is being talked about. And the only order volume we're really seeing is happening on Binance and other big exchanges. Centralized exchanges. So I'm just thinking that there's another reason I think so too is, we're seeing these ordinals really cheap, which means there's gonna be a lot less volume, right? We haven't seen puppets. Let's put this in USD value. It's almost 5K. We haven't seen that since early last year. No Monkey's the same thing. 5.9.
Oh my god.
These things are just absolutely insane.
Cheap.
Even Runestones are $227. These things were over $1,200. I want to say 3 months ago. I remember buying one for $800, like not too long ago. So and that's the thing too, is like, all right, you do see the bigger guys still holding a lot of their pricing, right? But the Natcats, for instance, right, they're down. Bitcoin frogs. $1,000 for a frog, $1,000 for a frog. This is
how do you switch it to USD?
Right here, see crypto. USD.
Okay.
And then so it's just the prices. Like I said, you do have OMB, on-chain monkeys doing good, OMB, Ordinal Maxi Biz, and a couple other ones doing good.
Quantum Cats, dude. Quantum Cats are still 22.8 thousand.
Yeah.
Hate or love them. Udi's somehow able. Well, they just got $30 million raise, right?
Yeah.
Is that some of that getting pumped in here, holding that price up?
I think so. I think they have a certain number, but still, there's only one on the daily. Only one of these got pushed through. So it's just like, it's not even like that's pushing the volume, and that crypto slam chart's all about the volume, right? We're just not seeing it, man. We're just not seeing the volume. Dude, only 137K. This used to be over $1 million for the top one.
Well, so just to be clear, I do think that ordinals do bounce back, but I do, and I hope. Because this space is definitely holds a special place in my heart, at least, because this is kind of where we grew and stuff like that. It is where we grew. But I don't know what's happening right now. You got people like CB Spears talking about how the mempool is dry. And it is. It's dry. Like the transactions on chain are dry. And then people are wondering, why would Leonidas want to, start this initiative? And I'm
well, there's a big problem too. Is what's the most coveted asset in the world right now?
Bitcoin.
So why would you want to sell your Bitcoin for a JPEG?
Oh yeah, we've had that. It's definitely. Yeah, that makes sense from a logical perspective. It's like people don't want to give their sats up for secondary assets when they feel like Bitcoin's definitely not done moving, right?
Exactly.
And there's also this theory that because Bitcoin is the on-chain assets are clunky and they're slow in and out, fungibles and non-fungibles, ordinals, that they thrive in crazy bullish markets, bull markets, and maybe that's why we got our 2023. I don't completely agree with that. I think it was also very new in 2023, even though we were in a bear market and we thrived that way. I think maybe some of that's true though, because it's like when you want to believe in something, and during like a bull market, even if or bear market, even if it's the end of it, like people want to believe in something, right? They just want to say, oh, this is new Bitcoin, blah blah blah, right? Which like the fundamentals of it, it's easy to believe in. But now like we're in this kind of crazy, like nobody believes in anything that's not Bitcoin, because maybe some blue chips, but like in terms of like the way things are traded on Solana and even Base to an extent, like the high fast moving stuff, like no one believes in anything anymore. That's why like Dog with Hat, Popcat is dying so much, is because like you have the vape cabal that's like literally just throwing in 6-figure buys and then coming out with like 7-figure sells. And like that hurts. Like you have to be a really good trader that's a smaller size trader, right? And you have to be really good over and over and over. The regular people, which is majority, like let's say like 10% wins, 90%'s losing. They're not going to believe in stuff that comes out anymore on Solana, right? In terms of why would they? Because every time they try to hold something, they're down, they lose. So
100%. There's no holders right now, and the reason why there's no holders right now because we're not in a bull market. So the main thing I go by with the bull market is if you can buy a dip and make money. You cannot buy a dip and make money right now. It's
I mean, you can, but it has to happen quick.
Well, I mean, again, a couple hours maybe, right? So you may make a few bucks, but like I guess my main thing would be like buying a dip and holding it for a couple weeks, you know what I mean, or this time next week it's going to go up in value. It's not a bull market, so you can buy a dip and make money. And right now, if you buy any of these dips, there's a good chance next week the price is lower, and that could be the mindset of people right now. I'm going to buy a Node Monkey at 4,000. I'm going to buy a Puppet at 4,000. I'm going to buy a Quantum Cat at 18,000. I want to buy a Runestone at $100. That might be going through people's minds right now. But I also don't think the downward pressure on something like Crypto Slam is going to actually like not continue. I think it's definitely going to continue. But because I think that a lot of the ordinals, especially what Emblem Vault has done, they're going to cause more
off-chain
more
sales.
volume off-chain, especially now that Runes potentially are going to all these chains. We're going to see more volume everywhere else besides Bitcoin, but it's the Bitcoin assets that are doing that as well. So I don't know, man. Am I worried about the Bitcoin ecosystem? Not long term, but yeah, short term.
Yeah, there's some great comments in here. Let's get to some of these. Steamy J says this is a bottom signal if I've ever seen one. Yeah, I hope it is. I hope that what we just said is a bottom signal. Tim Bake says, if you were smart, buy 10 node monks and 10 puppets. I'm not doing it. Dude, that's like classic Tim Baker, right?
It is.
And he says, so it will work. You will make a butt. Actually, I have been thinking about that. Like, it's probably the time to do it, But anyways, that's a funny.
I said
statement.
that last week though at 6,500.
And it's lower now.
It's lower now. So I'm actually thinking it goes lower. I'm hoping it goes lower because I want to pick some up.
All right, Mice Elf says, I don't think all sectors of crypto will pump together moving forward. Maybe a little in the tail end of the cycle, but maybe the PFP rally will happen at a different time than token rally. 100%. I mean, that's kind of typically how it goes. Even within our little bull run that we had in 2023, it would alternate between BRC20s and then PFPs. BRC20s, PFPs. And then Ord Dutcher says, bye. And then Anthony Paldino says, nobody knows what the F a Bitcoin Ordinal is yet. Well, I think there's a good amount of people that know, but like there's not, you're definitely right. There hasn't been, it's like, like the 2021 NFT craze yet for Bitcoin Ordinals. Also, I want to say this about the Counterparty 2.0. So now we have 2 PFP or digital art standards that are viable and on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, Ordinals has more volume altogether, like especially on chain. It's not comparable, but like the PFP collectors respect both, I think, and I think that's probably a good thing. With Counterparty kind of being in different areas, and it's going to happen with Ordinals as well. We're going to see if this transition of chain abstraction happens, and like let's say 2 to 5 years down the road. 5 years too far out. Let's just say 2 years. down the road, if people are even talking about, you know, the volume on Bitcoin for their ecosystem more as like, you know, this platform on Abstract sold, you know, or these Bitcoin assets are like the top volume. So it's more of like, you know, the actual assets like Node Monks. Node Monks is like the highest volume of all like NFTs and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. But you got to remember too, with Counterparty, there's a lot of volume there, but it's not in Bitcoin. It's all in Ethereum.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
it's
what I'm
like,
saying is that like, you know, 2 years down the line, people won't even care like that, like
yeah,
Ethereum's getting those. Now, I think the miners might care and stuff, but look, I mean, if they care, then build a better like
yeah,
environment. You know what I mean? Like
build something cool.
we've done like, and I love certain parts of Bitcoin that you're just not going to be able to really have that same experience on Ethereum or any other smart contract track stuff, right? And so, you know, with being able to have like the inscribing on individual sats and all that stuff, and I think that that's going to be very collectible in the future. But in terms of like high foot traffic, you know, I use that as like a kind of an example. The chain needs to be more user friendly for that. You know, you're not going to get high foot traffic, but you don't get high foot traffic in a Ferrari dealership. You know what I mean?
No.
You get like you know, maybe like what, like 50 people a week that are
You get the
serious,
ooh
like
ahs,
seriously
right? The
looking.
ooh, look at
Yeah,
that thing,
or
you
yeah,
know?
exactly, right? But how many are buying? Maybe
Yeah,
like out of 50, 10. I don't know. I'm just making this shit up. But comparable to like a regular
yeah,
like Ford dealership, it's way different, right? And that's how I look at Bitcoin's the chain. I look at it as a Ferrari dealership or a, you know, one of those like high-end type of manufacturing warehouses that, you know, functions very well to create quality products, but you're not going to get a ton of foot traffic.
yeah. It's kind of like, you know, a lot of the sports cars and stuff, they're made overseas, right? But they buy them here in the US. I'm sure that we're one of the biggest buyers of sports cars, but they're not made here. They're made in Italy and places like that. So again, to your point, and they're bridging them over technically, right? They're putting them on a boat and they're taking them over, paying the tariff at the gate now, and then you bring them over, which we got to pay a fee to get into Ethereum or wrapping it with Emblem, and then you get into it's pretty much the same thing as that. So that's a really good point and definitely a way to wrap that up there. So yeah, I guess my question for you would be, do we go lower? We're seeing the lower volume, but we see lower price. Usually lower volume comes with lower price.
Yeah, I don't know what is it. I would love to see Node Monks at 0.04 because that's where I originally got them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But I don't have them anymore. You know, but
You
like
sold at point one something,
no,
or maybe
no,
higher.
yeah,
I'm just
like
kidding.
dude, that was the crazy. That's
Yeah.
those are the days I would like to see, but first I'd
Yeah.
like to get some a little bit cheaper.
100%. The next thing here is a tweet from Leo Collard. He says staking is live, and we do know that. Here. So the website is at. I'm sorry, it's stake dot thestonecollection.io, and they do have a centralized staking up right now, but this is going to be fluid here. They're going to be using fluids. They're going to create a front end for fluids back end, and they're going to allow you to do the staking here, but you can also use fluid's amazing UI as well. Just go to fluidtokens.com, and I highly recommend anyone who's holding these to definitely stake them. Especially Fluid, it's non-custodian, so there's no one actually holding your asset. You're locking it in your own wallet and you're earning. If you plan to hold long term, that's the decision you have to make. But if you are planning to hold long term, there's no reason not to lock it in your own wallet, self-custodian, and keep it there for the time that Fluid wants you to do it. I've locked multiple things up right now. I think I have 20 passes locked up in FLTT.
Woo!
And so I can't wait till my reward is here. But you will see eventually, you will see it here to say you'd stake one of your stones, and then you'll see how many. Maybe I think what they're going to do is they're giving away a second stone, or it might be a token. I'm pretty sure it's a second stone, because they do have 4,000 stones that they pre-mined. So highly recommend you guys get a part of that. If you hold stones, I'm not telling you to buy stones. I don't know if the prices are going to go up on them. I just know that if you're planning to hold long term, maybe a good idea to lock them in Fluid. I don't know about the other one. Like I said, there is 2 different staking. The one staking is custodian staking. You're trusting them with your asset. That's not my game. That's yours. If you choose to do that, but I recommend just waiting for Fluid. That should be probably up. Well, actually, you'll find that tomorrow morning exactly when it'll be up because we have a meeting with Raul in the morning. So
Yeah, and this is another reason why I feel like the Bitcoin ecosystem is like there's special parts of it that you're not gonna get anywhere. Like the Fluid, the fact that they utilize this, the fundamentals of Bitcoin to create a staking environment is amazing, right? So love that, love that.
Yep. And then the next thing here is Magic Eden had a tweet this morning. They said, nothing says I love you like free Magic Eden token. Unclaimed ME bonus airdrop distribution starts at 11 a.m. PT, which is, I want to say, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. If you staked for 2-1. So I'll let you know, guys, what I did. I got a lot of ME tokens. I staked 1,000 of them on day one because I knew I needed the Shizzy proof some of these tokens because I am very bullish on Magic Eden and I want to hold some next cycle. So what I did is I locked 1,000 of my tokens up for 4 years. And that was in my head, I was like, okay, I think they're going to be over $100, maybe 200. That gives future Shizzy potentially $200,000 in value. And he just can't even touch it. He can't mess with it. He can't do nothing. He can lose his keys to that wallet. So I'm hoping future Shizzy does not do that. But that is the only way potentially. So, but by doing that, I didn't realize I was going to get rewarded. So by locking that $1,000 ME up, and guys, that was like $6,000 at the time. Locking that up, actually, I'm getting 6,000 new tokens.
It's crazy. That's
so
crazy.
It rewards you to do what they say sometimes, right? And I didn't lock my whole.
I mean, come on, that was like you have to admit, like this is a little bit lucky, right?
Is it lucky or is it me? Just
because like you didn't expect that, right?
But I was expecting something from staking it. I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the whole point of staking.
Yeah, I know. So I didn't expect this.
I can tell by the way you're reacting right now. You didn't expect it because you look like a little kid on Christmas Day.
I was very happy. I mean, I'm getting over what 10 grand at this value right now for just doing something that many would compare stupid. I mean, why the hell would you lock up a crypto token? It might not even be here in 4 years, right?
So for all the like crap that maybe some people try to give Chart Fu, he did say like whenever the staking was available, he was like, I'm staking for 4 years. I'm doing this. Maybe that was a little hint. So I might pay a little bit more attention to his tweets.
So all you guys got to do, my staking power is like 20,019. I staked on day one. So I'm going to go with the max here, 54, because it's been 54 days staked or something like that. I don't know. But it says this is the amount I'm going to see. So all you got to do, go to Petty. I can actually put this in the chat for you guys if you want it. But go to if you after the shows, go to Petty's Twitter. He has a whole tweet on this on how to do it, and this is the site it came up. It's a Google Doc. You have to sign in your Google and stuff like that to use it. But yeah, so you just put your staking power, you put your days staked, and then it'll tell you the hopium injection. So again, I'm not 100% sure this is it. Petty's not 100% sure this is it, but if this is it, this is the math for it.
So wait, if he's not 100%, where's he getting this stuff from?
So he took the amount left over that hasn't been thing, and he did that and it actually tells you the exact number of staking power altogether. So he's just doing the math. Staking power divided by this gives you this much. So if you have this much staking power and this many days, this is how much you're going to get. So he just kind of did the equation. I'm sure he used ChatGPT, but to give him this type of equation to come up. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
But so the question is, are you going to sell right away?
I might stake another 1,000 for 4 years.
What? But like, do they have allocation for that? I thought they were giving it all.
What do you mean?
Oh, so they have like a separate allocation from the beginning just for stakers. And so this was the people that didn't claim.
Airdrop.
So this was the one that didn't claim. These are people that didn't claim this remaining. Okay, so the staking allocation, that's separate. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So these are going to come liquid, and I might take 1,000 and stake it for 4 years. Wow. And then I don't know.
That's
maybe I'll
crazy, bro. That's
and then
crazy.
Future Shizzy. Let's just say they get to $300 a token. Future Shizzy could be very happy.
So, but I will say though, watch for the price dump though. I mean,
oh yeah, 100%. Like I probably won't sell, but that's the thing too. Now, like after let's just say 4 days go by, there's no one's waiting to buy anymore because people might not want to be buying before this incident. So let's just say 2 weeks from now, you might see an upward momentum that doesn't stop.
Because people
You know
aren't
what I mean?
buying because they're expecting the dump, but the dump will happen.
Maybe they're
And
gonna
then
buy up the dump.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
the final
I think
dip before the
anything
rip.
below $1 is ridiculous for Magic Eden, but you gotta probably expect it to
Dude, I might be a
challenge getting
buyer.
below there with like, you know, all this extra ME coming into. We saw what happened last time. Everybody
Mhm.
dumped it, dude. Like, and that
Yes.
was better times than we are in now.
Yeah,
So
100%. Yeah, 100%. But let's just say it does get to $1. I'm a buyer. I'm not a seller,
all right.
right? Because
All right.
Magic Eden is the number one place that I buy anything from, right? I mean, I don't buy really anything else. I mean,
Really?
even on Abstract, when I'm playing with that, I'm buying on Magic Eden.
True.
You know, so I have a crap load of NFTs over there that I'm just kind of, a lot of them I'm getting for free from playing the games, and stuff like that. So, here's the last thing here. The Wizard, remember this? We haven't talked about this in forever. The Wizard migration website from OrdKit is now live. And guys, do your own research on this. This is just something I seen on the timeline, and I grabbed it just in case it is. But make sure you guys make sure I would reach out to the people that started this. But it's Magic Internet Money. They did say it was going to be mid-February. It is now mid-February. The site looks legit. I don't know if it is or not. Again, but if you do have the Wizard token, I don't know if you want to look on CoinGecko, but it is taking off today. People are buying that up to migrate it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we're going to see the Magic Internet Money token probably go
Migrate
live on Magic
the
Eden.
runes.
Yeah, it's already a rune, Magic Internet Money. The Wizard token will be Magic Internet Money.
Wait. So the Wizard BRC20 migration's coming to Magic Internet Money. Okay, gotcha. So there's gonna be a claim thing on their website. Gotcha.
This is apparently the site here. And again, I want you guys to go do your own research and find it for yourselves. If you're going to do this, because I'm not connecting my wallet to this or anything like that, but it'll tell you you send your wizards to this wallet, and then that same wallet that you sent will get Magic Internet Money. It's 1-to-1, so it's pretty big.
So that's not Udi's token. That would be so wild if he was behind it.
Udi. I mean, it
I
could
would.
be.
I hope it is, not because like I think that's good for runes or anything.
Yeah.
I think like the drama behind it. I don't like drama, but like it just would be so ironic if he was like pulling the strings.
I think it's
behind
Maven's bot, and I think
Maven's bot.
He has something to do with it, right?
With the Wizard collection.
Yeah, I think he's a part.
Didn't you have Maven's bot on the show when I was out?
It was someone different. It wasn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was. I think, was that the same bot? I don't remember, but I probably got to look more into this one. No, it's different. This is two different people. This is Maven's bot right here. Nope, this is not. They got an 11 thing. That's not the right one. So I personally have to do more research, but I saw the Wizard token flying up. I typed in WRZD. I found out that it was the reason because they're actually going to be claiming the Magic Internet Money token. So my question for you: can Magic Internet Money token kind of force the markets up? Because this is exciting, right?
It would be even more exciting if it was Udi was behind it.
Yeah, he's not. He hates runes.
Yeah, but does he, or is it a psyop? I mean, like the whole like, isn't the collection like Udi and Eric's? The Wizard collection?
The Wizard collection is, but the Magic Internet Money token, we don't know. It's anonymous who did the runes.
There's mystery behind that, right? Isn't there mystery behind that? Like, why is he's tagging like the wizards in it? Like, or like it's a part of like the
Wizard token is unofficial token of the Wizards of the Bitcoin Wizards. It's not official. It's never been official. Udi did come out and tell people, hey, like this is a meme. It's funny. You know,
it's not mine.
Like that, so
it's weird. At times, I've seen him kind of like it almost seems like he's supporting it a little bit, and they like back out. You know what I mean?
But not like fully. Oh, let's go.
Hey,
Crypto Solutions.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. That's what's his name, right?
Vincent. Yeah, Vincent.
Shout out to
appreciate
Vincent,
appreciate that, and appreciate you sharing our video, man.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Definitely appreciate that. Yeah.
But that's our show, guys. We do have a recording in about 15 minutes. So
yeah, we do. Thank you guys. You know, Wednesday sometimes a little slow, but we try to keep it lively, and it seems like we did a good job there.
A lot of comments today, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, myself says it's a psyop for sure. Those guys are insincere. Yeah, probably. But you know, 253 people chilling with us live on a Wednesday. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hopefully through all of our bickering and bantering, you guys learned something today. I think maybe you did. I don't know. But it was fun nevertheless. And look, we're here, guys. So yeah, we looked at Crypto Slam. It's down. And when I say I'm worried, I'm not necessarily worried that like ordinals are going to disappear. They're not. Ordinals are here forever. But the volume is definitely something that I'm going to keep my eye on, and that's our job, is to kind of like go over these scenarios with you guys. It's not like trying to intentionally create like fear or anything like that. It's just having a conversation. You guys just heard me, like I'm looking to see how many node monks I'm going to pick up here and anything else on sale as well. So I still think there's a huge bright future for ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem. So just hang tight with us and we'll continue on this journey together. But if you wouldn't mind helping us out a bit and checking out our partners, we'd greatly appreciate that. Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, more specifically ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your puppets or your node monks to Abstract, to Merlin Layer 2, to Base, multiple different EVMs, as well as Solana in the future as well. So, their whole movement is, they want to be able to bring ordinals to the world, and they have already started that already. So look out for their Bitcoin Wallet Agent AI product as well. You're going to be able to use Tensorium, I believe, to connect your wallet and vault the ordinals for you and do all the bridging process that's kind of tedious. It's going to do it on your behalf, as well as just make Bitcoin Layer 1 trades, Magic Eden, stuff like that. Buy this mini pups, buy this, whatever. So that is the idea behind that product. Super excited about it. And don't forget about their rune called the Emblem Vault Founder Keys. Their TGE is coming up in September, the week of the 17th, I believe. But you can trade these right now in ERC 721 form on OpenSea. And once the TGE comes, they will open up as like Bitcoin runes that you can have in your Bitcoin wallet. So you can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an X-First wallet, some Bitcoin, and it takes 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets right away in their markets on their platform. Really, really soon, in the next week or so, you're going to be able to create your own markets that you can utilize their social product as well to, be able to market and have people place bets in your market, the markets that you create, and earn up to 1.5% of the total volume that people place bets on. So super exciting stuff there. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And BitPerp, the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem, they will be launching on a Bitcoin Layer 2 very, very soon. They're going to have their paper trading competition available soon as well. As Shizzy said earlier, they are just tightening up some of the loose ends on their platform. It's going to be ready, guys. Thank you guys so much for your patience. But you're going to be able to trade synthetic dog go to the moon. That's definitely going to be one that's going to be on there, because it's going to be on multiple Bitcoin Layer 2s at that point. And outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem tokens as well, you're going to be able to trade Trump token, other tokens that have a lot of volume as well. You can learn more at bitperp.io. And Fluid Tokens, the wizard UTXO devs of the Bitcoin Layer 1 ecosystem. These guys were the first to introduce retail staking vaults to the public, right? If you have a ordinal collection with an established community, you can reach out to Raul, which is the CTO of Fluid Tokens, to have a vault set up for you and your community so they can stake those assets and earn. They also are building the bridge and other account abstraction tools between Cardano and Bitcoin, as they started on Cardano. They're still there, but they have the UTXO experience, so they're going to be a big part of probably DOG going to Cardano as well, and other runes. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com and click on the Bitcoin logo to learn more about their Bitcoin operations there. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and want your protocol to be a bit more flexible and you want to scale out, you can do so with Merlin Chain. They have builder grants there. You just got to reach out to their team and apply. A couple of our partners applied and got in. So super excited about that. Also, if you are a retail user and you want to use a AMM quick swap, you can use Merlin Swap, and you can actually trade for DOG go to the moon on Merlin Swap using Wrapped Bitcoin or Merlin token there. You can learn more about Merlin Chain at merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners, Foxy, building the first-person shooter game on Bitcoin called Clan Wars. We just had our first Tuesday evening stream at 3 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday, we're going to have that. Everybody's invited. We're going to drop the link for you guys before every stream. So you guys, all you need is Bitcoin wallet, and that's it. And you just jump in and start trying to get as many kills and not deaths like I did, but get those kills up as possible. They're also building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and also our last integrated partner, Ordinal Hive, the aggregator of ordinals marketplace on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. The cheapest ordinals around are going to be on Ordinal Hive, and they also have amazing trading tools like live mempool insights to where you can see if someone fat fingered a frog, a node monk, and get it for really cheap before anybody else finds it. And we thank you guys so much for the support and checking out our partners.
Yeah, man. We got a couple comments coming out. I'll get these real quickly. Tom says, what? He locked 1K ME tokens and got 6K tokens reward. Yeah, dude. I locked it for 4 years and on day one. So that matters. That's the reason why I got so much. Ant-Man says, I staked 1K for 4 years. Also bullish on current U.S. administration. Yes, 100%. The reason why I did it as well. I'm very bullish on Match Eden. Anthony Paldino says, BitConnect really messed me up with the staking outlook. Yeah. And I'm learning you got to get over old runes. They are hard, but you got to get over them. He said, can Match Eden hit a 20? I think in the next 4 years, it can hit $200. I actually believe that. I'm talking 4 years, right? Next cycle. Myself says, I only staked for 4 months. Uniswap token is good example of how useless exchange tokens perform. Yeah, that's probably true. We'll see with next cycle for sure. Yeah. And then, of course, Mike Delph says, so I'll shout out you guys. But if you guys have a few more minutes, wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel you can help them get started and code up to where we're at today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the NordVPN, the #1 VPN, in my opinion. You guys can get this for $3 a month. Don't be going through the internet with your IP hanging out. You don't want that. I don't want that. It's just not something we want to do here. Get a VPN. If it's not Nord, get another one. But we do have that 70% off coupon for you guys. It's $3 a month. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, don't wait to get your tickets in May. They go up insanely in price, guys. Get them as soon as possible. Get them through us. Get your discount. If you pay in Bitcoin, it's actually cheaper. Do that, you guys. I would love to see you guys there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be May. It's going to be exciting, but do not wait. Get them as soon as possible. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, if Denver coming up or just lounge around in the house, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto, not just ordinals. Check everything out here at ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls. Bet I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.